Hello everyone. In this video we will discuss about semiconductor laser. Before discussing the construction and working of semiconductor laser, let us review the semiconductors. A semiconductor is a material whose conductivity lies between those of conductor and insulator. And these semiconductors are classified into two types. One is intrinsic or pure semiconductor and second one is extrinsic or doped semiconductor. Generally, the conductivity in semiconductor it depends upon the electron concentration as well as hole concentration. In case of intrinsic or pure semiconductors, the electron concentration which is equal to hole concentration. And the second type, that is extrinsic semiconductor, so the conductivity which depends upon the doping agent. Extrinsic semiconductors are further classified into two types depending upon the types of majority carriers. So first one is N-type semiconductors where the electrons are the majority carriers, and P-type semiconductors where the holes are the majority carriers. When P-type semiconductor and N-type semiconductor is joined by special techniques, there will be a flow of electron from N side to P side and a flow of holes from P side to N side. After some time, an electric field will be created and this will oppose the flow and the flow will be stops. Thus, there is a formation of depletion region, and this region is called as depletion region or PN junction. Light emitting diodes are basically semiconductor lasers. A widely used semiconductor laser is gallium arsenide. So it is denoted by GaAs laser. Now energy bands in degenerate semiconductor. So the degenerate semiconductors are the semiconductors with heavily doped. Now the question arises, what is doped and what is the importance of doping? So doping means it is adding impurities to the semiconducting materials. By adding these impurities, so which enhances the conductivity property. In semiconductor laser, it is heavily doped with both the section, that is N and P section. Now let us understand this effect of heavy doping in both N and P section of materials by using Fermi energy concept. So the Fermi energy means it is the highest energy of free electron occupied at 0 Kelvin. Now let us discuss this Fermi energy with N type as well as P type, and with respect to one is moderate doping and another one the heavy doping. So now this first figure B1 and figure B2, that indicates N type and P type material of Fermi levels in moderately doping, means it is less doping. So it consists of two bands in semiconductor. One is valence band and another one is a conduction band. So in valence band the holes are present, in conduction band electrons are the majority carriers, and EV stands for the energy levels of valence band and EC stands for energy level of conduction band, and here it indicated by EFN, that is Fermi energy of N type material. And initially before doping, so the Fermi energy which is lies below the conduction band. And same thing in figure B2, so it is P type material, the holes are which is present in the valence band, and the Fermi level which is just above the energy of, that is valence band, that is EV, so which is just above the valence band, so it is denoted by EFP. EFP stands for Fermi level of P type, so it is also called as acceptor level. Now we'll discuss with the figure C and D. So N type, figure C is N type material after heavy dope. So after doping, the conduction band width is increases. It means the number of electron concentration is increases. Therefore, the Fermi level that is shifted in the conduction band. Similarly, in case of P type, after heavy doping, the valence band width is increases and it is shifted below the valence band. So this is about Fermi levels in the N type as well as P type material, that is moderately doped and heavily doped. Now we will discuss the construction of semiconductor laser. So the construction of laser, it is almost similar. It means it consists of one active medium connected with the energy source, that is for the pumping action. And this active medium which is placed in the two silvered mirror, that is one is fully silvered mirror, another one is the partially silvered mirror. So once the population inversion which is created in the active medium, then the laser output that will come through the partially silvered mirror. So this figure shows the typical semiconductor laser which is made up of the single crystal. The crystal is gallium arsenide. So both are same material, hence it is also called as homojunction layer. And it is connected with the forward bias. So this PN junction which is connected with the forward bias. Forward bias means the P-type semiconductor which is connected with the positive power supply, and N-type it is connected with the negative terminal of the power supply. Here the P and N junction both are heavily doped and made up with the same crystal. And the P section which is doped with the trivalent impurities such as zinc, and N section which is formed by doping the pentavalent impurities such as tellurium. And this PN junction, the depletion layer, after this is connected with the forward bias, it forms the certain depletion layer. Hence that depletion layer which varies the thickness, that is from 1 to 100 micrometer. And one more thing here, there is no active medium, there is no separate active medium, but this PN junction which is itself act as a active medium. Now we will discuss the working of semiconductor laser. So the working can be explained with the help of energy level diagram. So in this figure we can see the energy level diagram of both P as well as N section. So both are heavily doped sections. So here EC stands for the energy levels in the conduction band, and EV stands for energy levels of valence band, and EFN stands for Fermi energy of N-type material, and EFP stands for Fermi levels of P-type material. And Fermi energy means it is the highest energy occupied by electrons at 0 Kelvin. And already we have an idea of the Fermi energy concept with heavily doped diode. Means the Fermi energy, which in case of P-type semiconductor, the Fermi energy which is always lies below the valence band. So in left side we can see the Fermi energy of P-type which is lies on the below the valence band, and in right hand side, that is N section, the Fermi energy which is above the conduction band. Fermi energy here we can denote it by EFN. And in conduction band the electrons are present, and in valence band holes are the present. If both are heavily doped, means we are creating more number of electrons and more number of holes. Okay. Now this diode is connected in a forward bias. A suitable forward voltage is applied to diode to overcome the potential barrier. As a result, electrons are injected from N-type region and holes are injected from the P-type region. So this will result the electrons and holes meet together and forms the recombination, and that recombination yields light due to spontaneous emission, because there is no energy is required, no external energy is required for the light. It is only a recombination of electrons and holes. So that kind of emission it is called as spontaneous emission. Generally it is referred by LED, light emitting diode. But as the forward voltage is increased gradually, then the more number of electrons are present in the conduction band. Hence that will yields the population inversion, and the population inversion is achieved between the valence band and the conduction band. So which in turn that results in stimulated emission, because now we are increasing the energy, forward current, forward voltage we are increasing, means we are supplying the external energy. Hence that corresponding emission that depends upon the external energy. Hence we can call it as the stimulated emission. So that stimulated emission leads the laser action. So we can also calculate the emission of wavelength of laser, because the energy gap of gallium arsenide it is given by 1.4 electron volt, and we can calculate the wavelength that is given by lambda which is equal to hc divided by Eg, because E which is equal to h mu or lambda which is equal to hc divided by Eg. So by substituting the above values, like H is Planck's constant 6.625 into 10 raised to minus 34, C is the speed of light 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second, and Eg is the energy gap 1.4 into electron volt, that is 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulombs. By substituting this, we will get the wavelength of emitted laser light, that is 8400 angstrom. So this is about working of semiconductor laser.